when you're hot, you're hot. And he gets the start. Tuukka Rask, lifetime against the Rangers, has won 6 of 12 decisions and has a .932 save percentage to go along with 1 shutout. The Bruins have built something good, but they know they have got to extend this through tonight and through Saturday and all the way to the All-Star break. The game is on. The Rangers are a tremendous first-period team. And they are going to be determined to start fast, but here's Soderberg with a steal off of the forecheck of Kelly and Eriksson. Soderberg tries to wheel it middle, and the puck comes off a stick. Carl Hagelin turns away from Louis Eriksson.
There's a bit of a fake shot by Soderberg, and Louis Eriksson, who rotated to the front of the net, he turned his back on the play and faced Talbot looking for the rebound, and then a puck came from the blind side.
Adam McQuaid over to Dennis Seidenberg. Seidenberg has found his stride since McQuaid got healthy. Dan Girardi paired with Ryan McDonough.
Yeah, that along with timing, meaning it's been about a calendar year since the injury.
Yep. Happened just before New Year's Day of 2014. Dougie Hamilton flips it up to Marchand, to Bergeron, and Harvey Smith on the left. Smith shot. Whisks wide of the glove side of Cam Talbot.
We saw a great pass last game by Tampa when Palat found Stamkos with a kick pass. Nice little kick pass right there by Marchand to Bergeron on the breakup.
Hamilton to Bergeron. Cranks it across ice, and the puck just slide past Girardi. Playing it casually. Smith finds Krejci, dodges around Rick Nash's check. Over to McQuaid, the bomb. And that one sticks in the pads.
Yeah, Girardi.
Yeah. Fishes up his leg of his breezers, and he finds it.
Oh, we got to look at this footwork by Brad Marchand. He has a stick in the neighborhood, the old wrecking play. But you want to have your skates directly behind in case it bounces over. Or if it bounces to the side, you have your other skate there as well. So good play on the off wing. Marchand had to come across because of the coverage in their own zone on the breakout. Able to find Bergeron with the good support.
McQuaid wrists the puck through the corner. Krejci comes off the end boards. Wipes the JT Miller's check. McQuaid shot right on Talbot. The rebound to the corner. Miller scoots it out through center. Seidenberg makes sure he's going to win the race against Marty St. Louis, and it's icing against the Rangers.
Bruins early showing some active D in the offensive zone. McQuaid a couple of times. Hamilton as well on that right side. Active, keeping plays deep in the offensive zone. Good hustle, too, by Riley Smith. I mean, he got right in between 3 ranges when Talbot didn't play the puck. Bruins making the line changes, able to find Krejci coming in off the bench.
Alain Vigneault has seen his Rangers win 13 out of 15. McQuaid throwing it into the pile as Krejci was jamming with JT Miller in front. Lucic on the turn off the boards in the neutral zone. The Bruins charge right back into the Rangers' end of the ice. Krejci tosses it over everybody, and this time's old friend Matt Hunwick, who is into the lineup with John Moore, a scratch tonight. Rangers change out. Seidenberg turns the net. He's got Campbell on the right wing board. Tries to bank it to Craig Cunningham. Kevin Klein jams him at the line. Jesper Fast, wearing number 19, a rookie for the Rangers, through the corner. Rask to Krug, out to the Boston line. Cunningham chips it for the speed. Paille, he gets there. There's no icing. Unwin tries to wrap up Paille. Campbell along the goal line. Second effort. It pops up, and Talbot gloves it.
When Sean Thornton used to play for the Bruins, we saw a lot of this. Before the red line, you throw the puck cross corner. Usually it was from the right wing to the left wing because you get the speed of Danny Paille. Well, they have to be on the off wings again because of the breakout. You're interchangeable at certain times, that being one of them. Cunningham goes with a high lob, knowing that Paille will get there first. Campbell comes in, second layer. They have a chance to make a play to the net.
Moore wins the face-off away from Kelly. That might have been one of those that Kelly was setting him up for something later in the game. Eriksson trying to A-frame against Dan Boyle. Miller keeps the puck in the zone. Lifts it around through the corner. Eriksson going against Boyle. Boyle pins him to the boards. Mark Stahl out to Carl Hagelin. Backhands it off the wall. Kelly whips it back down the boards. Hagelin shields the puck and then does a pirouette. Banks it off the boards. It's yet another icing against the Rangers.
Catch the latest behind-the-scenes Bruins action as the season continues on episode 8 of Behind the B, presented by Alex and Ani, airing Tuesday night at 7:30 right here on Neston. Missed any of the previous episodes? Stream them online by visiting bostonbruins.com/behindtheb or on the Bruins mobile app.
Bergeron wins the face-off against Moore. Hamilton to Smith to Bergeron, and this deflects off a stick up over the high glass.
Yeah, the most recent icing by the Rangers, Jack, really it was because of the decision by Kevin Miller. He had the support back through the middle of the ice, allowed him to go real deep on an aggressive pitch on Hagelin, and then the ensuing action leads to another icing in Boston with another offensive zone faceoff.
All the parts are in place for the Bruins, and they have been playing easily their best hockey of the year in the last 4 years.
Yeah, and that plus 12 representing the best as far as plus-minus for the Bruins D. I think he was plus 3 last game against Tampa, wasn't he?
Chris Kreider. Side of Boxman. St. Louis. Miller jamming. Kreider 6'3" and 220-something. Dan Girardi's one-timer sizzles wide. St. Louis in front of the Zamboni doors. Seidenberg gives him a bump. St. Louis stick handling along the wall. Seidenberg and Kreider bang again in the corner. Seidenberg works it forward and finds a seam to Krejci. Over to Lucic, 3-on-3 off ice with Miller getting back. Lucic tries to fire his middle. Girardi with the block. Lucic comes out other side, finds Chara, the one-timer, bounces to Pastrnak. He couldn't pick it out of the air, and Talbot will settle it. Good play by Chara just to get the puck on goal in a hurry.
The best play on the entire shift, though, was the breakout pass by Seidenberg. Locked up in a one-on-one battle, a little backhand chip pass to David Krejci. That's winning a battle. That leads to a breakout. Turn your defense into offense. Good net drive by Pastrnak to give Lucic an opportunity. When that doesn't work, you stay on it, you hunt the puck down. The defense gets open because of the sagging defense.
Hamilton risks it right on Talbot. Bergeron scores! The Bruins have taken the play to the Rangers, and Patrice Bergeron has Boston on top exactly 4 minutes into the game.
Well, I'm not sure how many faceoffs have been in the offensive zone here in the first 4 minutes of this game, but there's been several, and the Bruins are rewarded for it. You keep having faceoffs in the offensive zone, you keep having ozone time, you get an active D, you get pucks through, you have people rotating to the net, you get second chance opportunities. Bergeron, after winning the faceoff, Hamilton gets a shot through, and the Bruins are pursuing the puck. And Bergeron's second chance opportunity is just a hard shot that goes right through Talbot.
Just the 16th time in 41 games that the Rangers have allowed their opponent to score first.
Boston goal scored.
Taylor's going to get a boarding penalty here for sending Jesper Fast towards a rule of cross-checking. And Boston will be short-handed. The Rangers' power play has been a dangerous weapon this season.
Well, Campbell was trying to get this puck out of the zone, Jack, on the opposite side of the ice when he took a little short pass from Danny Paille, and Tanner Glass kind of rode him off into the boards with a pretty solid hit, and they had a little exchange. I think Campbell was still feeling that, and he went over trying to get physical with Fast, just a little too aggressive with the cross-check.
Rangers 12 power play goals in their last 12 games, and Marty St. Louis forces Rask to make a leg save. Marchand checks Brassard. St. Louis so quick to the puck. Throws it off Brassard, skates. Marchand fishes it away from Matt Zuccarello and flips ahead to Bergeron. Bergeron off the boards. Marchand will try to waste some clock. Dan Boyle, who has sparkled on the power play since his return from an early season injury. Rick Nash is offside. And it's a lucky thing because that guy scored 26 goals and is playing his best three-zone hockey of his career.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's excited about the All-Star game and going back to Columbus.
Bring the earplugs.
But he tries tries to get in behind the Bruin defense, but a little too eager. That right skate not into the neutral zone enough to stay onside. But, you talk to the people that are around the range and say, what's the difference between Nash this year? They truly believe that he's finally free and clear of the concussion issue he had a year ago.
This one rattles off of Talbot's skates. Boyle feeds St. Louis on the off wing. St. Louis off Chara's stick like the Brassard. It bounces toward the crease. Miller kicking it out of there, and Kelly carrying it clear all the way to the Rangers end of the ice. Kelly gets caught up in the traffic. Nash goes wing to wing. St. Louis working Chara's side. Back to Nash. The shot and the save by Rask. Good, strong left to right push for Tuukka Rask to get square to Rick Nash.
St. Louis, just a gifted playmaker, and he's on that off wing. And when you're on that off wing, you just have such an advantage. The different passing angles, the vision. He's able to find Nash from one side of the ice, across to that left dot. Quick release by Nash to try to find a hole as Tuukka Rask kind of move from left to right.
There's Rick Nash, top of the pile. And the Rangers have played fewer games than anybody. Daniel Paya skips a two-hopper all the way in on Talbot. Still 3/4 of a minute to go on Campbell's penalty. Girardi hits Kreider. He goes around the plane, and Rask makes a brilliant left leg save. Girardi brings it off the boards over to Ryan McDonagh. McDonagh all the way to the corner. Throws it on Rask, and he holds it against his chest. That was a huge and timely save by Tuukka Rask.
And a great pass by Girardi on the breakout. He delayed. He had a little pump fake. He wanted to wait for this lane to open up. He had to wait for Cunningham to kind of drift more to the middle. And with that little delay, and the pass has just enough on it. It was a rocket pass, but it has enough on it to get past McQuaid and allow the speedy Kreider lane to the net. Great stop by Rask.
Girardi shovels it over to McDonagh. Kreider's tip in front. Slides just wide of the stick side post. Girardi bangs Bergeron as Miller was holding his stick. Marchand gives the hip to Stempniak. McQuaid can't clear the zone. McDonagh's pass comes back to center. 10 seconds to go on the penalty.
Yeah, that's where you like to see the holding the stick penalty called, because you're at such a disadvantage. You can get to that loose puck and you're short-handed.
4 shots on goal for the Rangers. We'll see if that power play generates some 5-on-5 attacking zone momentum for them. There's David Krejci curling back. Torrey Krug, the wrist shot tipped in front off the corner glass. A lively bounce in the circle. Hagelin swings it wing to wing. Jesper Fast wrists it into the opposite corner. Dominic Moore goes for a ride off Kevin Miller's impetus. Miller wins the puck, gives to Krug. Lucic pivots, finds Pastrnak in a seam, but he couldn't keep his skates under him as Mark Stahl gets in the way. He headmans the puck to Hagelin. Hagelin drops it off to Dominic Moore. Moore to Hagelin into Hamilton's skates, and Chara's the next layer. Chara on the Soderberg's backhand. He's got Chris Kelly in the middle. Hits the brakes, cross ice. Chara can't take it out of the air. Louis Eriksson, Kelly on the doorstep tip. Then he recovers the rebound in the corner. Chara's wrist shot goes off Soderberg's leg. Soderberg cuts away from Mark Stahl. Kelly bangs hard against Tanner Glass. Stahl pivots away from Kelly. Soderberg swings at Glass. And now here's Stempniak walking in on Rask. And Rask robs him. There's a crime wave in Boston. Tuukka Rask committing multiple larcenies. And Patrice Bergeron giving the Bruins the early lead.
Especially on defense, Dougie Hamilton in the neutral zone. He sees this puck loose, and he has to make a decision right now. Do I have an opportunity to make a play on this puck? I think so, but he underestimates the 6'5" Kevin Hayes, able to get to that puck first. A one-handed chip pass. Fast walks in, and once again, Tuukka Rask showing that great mobility, the concentration, the square to the puck, the good push right to left. No holes there. Nice stop.
Done off the end boards. Chara rubbing out Matt Zuccarello, who tries to go the low route. Chara finds the puck before Nash can, sends it over to Hamilton, chips the backhand into Marchand skates. Bergeron with a burst of speed in the middle, and he's offside. And the play comes back to the neutral zone for the faceoff.
Yeah, pretty good job by Boston defensively, Jack, below the goal line. Little chip pass again. Chara to Hamilton. Marchand makes himself available with movement along the left wing, which forces the defense to have to back off and not be able to pitch because you got the good support by Bergeron. And then that fake little pass by Marchand just outside the offensive blue line actually fooled Bergeron and forced him to be offside because he didn't break stride.
McQuaid holds with Krejci swinging up the right side. Seidenberg. That goes off Stahl's stick, no icing. Kreider, trouble from Pastrnak on the forecheck. McQuaid dribbles it all the way to the slot. Miller takes it back of his own goal. Now Dan Boyle. Off the boards, Kreider angles the puck into McQuaid. Stahl stabs it over to Boyle. Mark Stahl. Cross ice for St. Louis for Miller, looking for Kreider, crashing, but the pass too far forward. Pastrnak with a self pass creates a 3-on-3 up ice. Stahl tries to hold the line. Krejci all the way around. Miller takes the hit to move it back of his own goal. Miller jumps down from the right point, shields the puck from Stahl. St. Louis in the corner against Krejci. Cunningham goes in and wreaks a little bit of havoc there. St. Louis takes it unopposed.
What a great pass by St. Louis. Just steps into the offensive zone. A deft little backhand pass. What looked like just to space, and Miller was flying. Perfect play.
1,000 points, 1,100 games. He has done everything you can do in hockey. Stanley Cup, gold medal. Art Ross, Hart Trophy winner. Here's Tanner Glass in the corner. Krug off Glass's stick. Now Campbell around to the near side. Cunningham bangs it off of Hunwick's stick. No icing. Talbot out of his goal, gives it away. Campbell's shot didn't get anything on it, and Talbot gets it with the right pad. Hamilton whips it on goal. Now here's Chara. Wraps the puck through the corner. Campbell, a shake and bake move against Klein. Turns, faces Talbot, who makes a chest save. The goalie's stick pinwheels all the way to the corner. Chara to Hamilton. The Bruins need to take advantage of this zone time with the goalie's stick 40 feet away from where he wants it. Cunningham spins it down low. Hayes. It goes past the Deadwood. The Bruins with attacking zone time here. And you can see the goalie's stick lying down there in the corner. Fast. Second effort gets it past Chara. Kevin Hayes into the Boston zone. Behind the play, Talbot retrieves his stick. Chris Kelly off Stempniak's blade. Dougie Hamilton to Torrey Krug. Krug comes up the left wing. Here's Kelly. Kelly's wrist shot, and Talbot makes the glove stop. 9:12 to go first period. Shots on goal are 9-5 for the Bruins. 4 of those shots for the Rangers coming during the power play.
Rookie David Pastrnak has several teammates who also came into the league at a young age. Patrice Bergeron, Dougie Hamilton, and Milan Lucic have been able to help him out and give him advice. Dougie Hamilton said that it was so exciting and everything was so surreal when he came in. And Patrice Bergeron said there were a lot of veteran players who really helped him out and showed him the ropes. Milan Lucic said his best advice for David Pastrnak: soak it all up and keep playing your game.
I was peeking over at Garen's shoulder to see if I could see any 88 sweaters in the pro shop there. Peter Chiarelli's going to address the media between the first and second periods, so stay with us for the first intermission. It is widely anticipated he's going to have some kind of an announcement about Pasternak's status. Of course, this is his 9th game, and if he plays 10, then the Bruins have burned the first year of his contract.
I think one of the best things that happened to Patrice Bergeron stepping into this league at 18 was the fact that he lived with Marty LaPointe his first year or so.
Stempniak to Dominic Moore to Hagelin, and another ridiculous save by Rask. Tuukka Rask going Gumby with an almost Chinese split.
Yeah, you see that ref.
The post.
Yeah, you see the ref with that wave it off signal. You know it caught a little iron.
I don't know if it caught any of Rask, but I saw his lunge and the puck come out. Tremendous puck movement by the Rangers, and you can see the speed that has the rest of the league respecting them so much. Brassard into the corner, his backhand off of Chara. Chara off the boards. Turns away from Zuccarello. keeps it moving. Smith, the touch backhand pass to Marchand, can't drag it through Nash. Dougie Hamilton gets up, examining his nose behind the play. Chara's pass offline. It comes outside the zone. And Hamilton decides he's going to rub out Derek Brassard, who I believe was the number he took.
Absolutely. And he thought he got a stick in the face, thought there should have been a minor penalty, and that was a response.
Dan Boyle's drive off Krejci's skates. Lucic can't get it through Kreider. Kreider off Lucic's stick, and it rolls in behind Rask.
Yeah, neutral zone's got to get a little sharper for Boston. A couple of real good opportunities for the Rangers as a result of speed through center ice. You can't just be in a position and say, I got this area, because the Rangers move the puck nicely.
Kreider and McQuaid in a heavyweight wrestling match. Miller wins the puck away from Krejci, snaps it back to Dan Boyle. Forward of Mark Stahl, he throws the puck to the corner. McQuaid pass Stahl. St. Louis wrists it into the slot. Seidenberg knocks it down, but Kreider uses the big body and his brilliant speed. The Rangers with extended attacking zone time here and trying to make the Bruins make a mistake of fatigue. Kreider pinning the puck against the end wall. St. Louis swivels it. Kevin Hayes in the corner, looks for Boyle. It deflects to Krejci. He calms things down. Has Lucic going forward. Pastrnak tries to feed Lucic through a seam. It goes off a stick. Lucic delays as the Bruins change out behind him. Krug flips it in on Cam Talbot. He gloves it. Well, our truck tells us that Tuukka Rask got nothing of this puck, but the Post got all of it.
Well, it's a really nice play. Stepniak underneath the stick of Torrey Krug. Moore gets the opportunity in that high slot, so you got to respect the shot. And then when that quick pass is made, the one-timer by Hagelin gets past Rask, but catches the post and stays out.
Frankly, I was wondering how he got that. He didn't.
Well, we'll just say he got a piece of it.
It hit an air pocket. Kelly wins the faceoff against Moore. Eriksson turns the corner against Hunwick. Hunwick gets the angle, shoves the puck ahead, gathers it back. Miller steps forward of Hagelin, who goes for a tumble. Kelly bounces it off Moore's skates. Soderberg gets it back on the rebound off Klein's leg. Klein with a couple of shoulder fakes takes it deep in his own zone. And off the boards, Moore recovers the puck. Tosses it off the end wall. Stempniak and Krug muck in the corner. Krug shoves it ahead to Eriksson. Klein seals the boards. Kelly trying to fish it out. Alex Miller. Kevin Miller goes back behind the goal for Krug. Krug north and south to Eriksson. Tries to steer it past Klein. Klein takes it. The Rangers want to change, so the Bruins get fresh legs on the ice as well. Moore sends the puck in deep. Chara flips it over to Riley Smith. Smith accelerates out of the zone. Campbell sidesteps Glass, is checked. Stahl, Campbell steals it. Tape to tape. Stahl to Campbell. Wrong color sweater right in front for Cunningham. Couldn't kick it to the stick. Fost gives forward. Hayes over the line. Cunningham gives him a bump. Hayes controls the puck. Rattles it off Paille's leg. Nash golfs it to the near side. Hamilton to Cunningham past the red line. Sends it down the boards, and the Bruins change out behind it. Cunningham using the body. Seidenberg swivels it around through both corners. Bergeron goes for a tumble. McQuaid wrists it in on Talbot. 4.5 to go in the first period. The Rangers starting to find an attacking rhythm, but the Bruins still ahead. Brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Patrice Bergeron, always a clutch player, but this year 11 goals, 3 have tied the score. The other 8 have given the Bruins the lead, including one tonight.
Yeah, I guess that would put the 11 goals he scored this year into the meaningful category.
Yeah. And since this team has gotten healthy, Bergeron has found much more of his stride. He takes losses so personally that at times it seemed he was trying to do more than any human can do, and his game was not at its top level.
Yeah, you know, the real good players, the great players, the superstars, you know, what do they tell you? We love winning, but we hate losing more.
Pastrnak trying to create something on the forecheck, but Stahl gets the pass across ice to his defensive pair, Kevin Klein, who gets it forward, and the Rangers can change. Now here's David Krejci accelerating towards Stahl. Back to Lucic. The wrist shot off Nash's stick, and it lobs into the protective netting.
EchoStore Technologies, a leading information technology provider of enterprise storage, virtualization, and data storage solutions and services. Visit EchoStore.com for more information. EchoStore Technologies, your data center solutions provider.
Rangers coming into tonight led the league with a +18 first period goal differential. And you combine that with the Rangers' ability to play defense and stop the puck. Here's Chara's one-timer. It sails up and over, I believe, off the shaft of Talbot's stick. Rangers get a chance to win because they bring the defensive effort in every single game, and they get tremendous goaltending. Talbot's been outstanding as a backup. You know, we showed you 3 shutouts with his 4 wins. And of course, you got Henrik Lundqvist. Marchand against Girardi on the far side. Bergeron wins the puck away from Dominic Moore, slides it back to Chara. He draws Stempniak, throws it intentionally wide. Marchand picks it up on the carom. Bergeron tries to touch pass. Hagelin over to Stempniak. Stempniak to the red line, and he scoops it into the Boston zone. Hamilton, hard diagonal looking for Kelly. Off the stick forward to the red line, no icing. Off Kreider's skate, it bounces past Eriksson to Kelly. The turnaround shot goes into Hunwick's body. Hunwick, the dart to Kreider. Kreider turns and flips it off the boards. McQuaid takes the spinning puck and hammers it off the dasher. Rides to the dasher for about 30 feet. Hunwick in trouble in the corner, gets a second chance for the out. We saw Chris Kreider mature at Boston College and then go directly into the Stanley Cup playoffs. And this is a young player who's just got an unlimited ceiling. Huge body, tremendous speed, terrific skill set, and wants it.
Yeah, a blend of speed and power, really. And as he gets older and more experienced, he'll get a little smarter in terms of how to use that skill set. But already a very effective player at the NHL level. But the upside for him is pretty high.
Yeah, the Rangers delighted that he was still around at number 19 in the first round of 2009. Zuccarello pokes the puck ahead. And yet another Massachusetts schoolboy who has made the National Hockey League. Brick, is there a rivalry between Massachusetts, Minnesota, Michigan?
I sure hope it still exists.
That was a batting practice pitch.
Oh, man. I'll tell you, the World Juniors, and the U.S. program that I experienced was really in its infancy at that point. I think it was in its 4th year when I played in the World Junior, and that team's comprised of players from, New England as well as those areas of the United States. In fact, more so than New England, certainly at that time, and there was a rivalry then.
Yep.
And I'm sure you watched Miracle.
Yep, you raise each other's games, don't you? You win respect with your performance. Brassard trying to feed Nash through the seam. Rick Nash, big body, great range, and as you said, Brick, clear-headed and ever dangerous, and the Rangers are always looking for him to slice through at the blue line. Krejci goes for a tumble after a collision with Dan Boyle. Ryan McDonagh on the spoke B, through the corner. Rask twists it off glass. It bounces past Fost. Lucic, the hard pass. Krejci, great hands to handle that puck. Pastrnak whips it cross ice. Lucic's shot saved by Talbot. Pastrnak with a pirouette and putting the puck where Lucic could play it. Now Pastrnak pursuing Stahl. Lucic goes in and hammers Stahl. And the puck slides all the way back to Rask's end as we click toward a minute to go in the opening period. Gregory Campbell up to the red line. Tumbles it down into Stahl's corner. Campbell, a giant collision with Miller. There's almost bowling pins there as he hit Miller, and then Miller bounced into Stahl. Gregory Campbell may not be the biggest body, but he's got the biggest heart.
Well, he had the cross-checking penalty early in the period, and it came on the heels of a hit by Tanner Glass on him, so that certainly gets you into the game. Hit or be hit. Good forecheck by Cunningham, and here comes the second leg. Great body contact by Campbell. Prior to that, beautiful pass. He knew exactly where he wanted to go. Pastrnak took a look, saw where Lucic was before the puck really got to him. Able to make a nice play in center ice.
Bruins looking for a good finish to a first period that has been very solid against a motivated Rangers team. Soderberg comes off the half boards, works it through Miller and Klein. Eriksson picks up the garbage, walks right to goal, almost picks the corner, just an inch or two wide of the post. Kreider unloads on Eriksson. Kreider skates it through the seam. Klein forward, now Miller taps to Kreider. Kreider can't drag the puck over the line. Hunwick retrieves. Great physical play from both teams. No quarter asked and none given. Very solid first period of hockey here at TD Garden. Chara pokes it out to the red line, and the Bruins will take a 1-0 lead into the room.
Except for a couple of breakdowns on some rushes by the Rangers where they got some good chances, a little too loose in center ice and across the defensive blue line. Other than that, a real focused period by Boston. Got off to a good start. They knew the Rangers were a good first period team. Well, the Rangers going to have to...
After the third year, entry-level players who usually get a massive multi-million-dollar annual salary bump, and Peter Chiarelli has liked what he has seen. Game summary brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. And Brick, the Rangers are not only a fast, skilled, difficult to play against team, but they are a very proud one, and they have now been outscored 4-0 since they came back from the West Coast. I think we could anticipate a pretty good surge here in the second from now.
Well, that would be the expectation, and you know, they'll think about the positive things they did in that first period, which were a couple of real good looks off the rush. Tuukka Rask had to make two really big stops on net drives where he had to go almost post to post to keep the puck out. So
there you see this graphic. I mean, 9 times they've trailed after the first period in 41 games. That is giving yourself a chance to win. The foundation of the team is defense, but there is so much more. Nash and Miller bang in the corner. Miller hard for Eriksson. It comes back to Miller. He swings it over to Torrey Krug. Up ahead to Carl Soderberg off the boards, and it slides on the frictionless ice for the second icing against the Bruins in the first 41 seconds of the middle period.
not sure Kyle played a lot of pool growing up.
You know,
You got to know those angles if you're going to go indirect off the boards to not ice the puck.
pool begins with P, which rhymes with T, which stands for trouble, which is what the Bruins could get themselves into if they spent a lot of time in their defensive zone. Kevin Klein's blast ricochets off the end board. Kreider tied up with Krug. Soderberg chips it off Klein's body. It bounces back to Krug. Quickly D to D. Miller takes the space, sends it ahead. Eriksson trying to get around Hunwick, and they wave off the icing. Hunwick, an excellent skater. St. Louis takes Miller's touch pass, fires the low angle shot, and Rask has all options covered.
Mark January 25th on your calendar for your first chance to get to know the new look Boston Red Sox at the 2015 Red Sox Town Hall. Join Tom Caron at 7 p.m. as he sits down with John Farrell, Ben Cherington, John Henry, Tom Werner, and Larry Lucchino. Want to ask a tough question? Use hashtag Red Sox Town Hall to have your voice heard.
Bergeron wins the drop back to McQuaid. Riley Smith tosses the backhander, and Ryan McDonagh picks it out of midair. Zuccarello and Smith bump in front of the Boston bench. Bergeron goes in, wins the puck, and whacks it past McDonagh. Dan Girardi, reliable, steady defenseman. Now McDonagh up to his own line. Nash trying to feed Zuccarello, and Marchand bumps Zuccarello. Zdeno Chara has some ice. The hard wrist pass for Bergeron. He turns it to McDonough's corner. One hands it pass to Marchand. Now Riley Smith can't pick it up in front. Jesper Fast up the wing, tosses it in, bangs against Miller. Seidenberg is there. Glass rides Seidenberg off. Fast jams down in the corner against Miller. Smith, trouble from Fast, and he dribbles it out to center. Here come the Rangers again. Boyle can't handle the puck cleanly. Glass caves in Krejci. He gets back up. Boyle wins the puck away. Krejci takes it back and slides the backhand down into the corner. Stahl tries to turn his goal, leaves it behind for Boyle on second thought. And here's Boyle exploding away from Krejci, right over the center, dotted into the Boston zone. Boyle curls up at the line, throws it right to Torrey Krug's tape. Krug to Krejci, casually over to Lucic. He's got Pastrnak on the right. Lucic goes around the dot. Lucic powers past McDonough, brings it out to McQuaid along the line to Krug. Krug closes, the blast tip, scores! David Krejci. Krug sold the shot, turned it into a slap pass, and all it was a tuck for the finish for David Krejci. It's 2-0 Boston.
I give a lot of credit too to Milan Lucic on this play, Jack. I mean, it was a 2-on-3 when he came across the blue line, and he just blows right around Dan Boyle. Take it wide, keep the feet moving, use the net as your ally, and then use your points. And watch the coverage. You got Stepniak, Boyle, who's covering who? What are we doing? We man on man, we zone, and the Bruins take full advantage of it. And that's a great look at ice level. Torrey Krug closes, gets closer to the net, improves his scoring chances, sells the shot, and wide open David Krejci for a redirect layup goal. Impressive stuff.
Torrey Krug burst onto the scene in the playoffs in 2013 in that series against the Rangers.
Yep.
He almost came out of nowhere as far as Rangers fans were concerned, and he has been a pest for them. Has a lot of success against New York.
And that's the way you draw it up. You know, Lucic, if you have no play to the slot, no hope plays, hang on to the puck, take it below the goal line. Spread it out, use your points if they're open. Force the Rangers into some kind of decision-making coverage. And when they have the breakdown, you take advantage.
Kevin Klein off of Kelly's leg, and the puck springs forward of Soderberg. Hunwick with a nice shoulder fake. Soderberg loses an edge. Hamilton back to retrieve. Off of Nash's stick. Nash to Brassard. Derek Brassard. Up the boards to Matt Zuccarello. Comes off the wall across the zone to Klein. The wrist shot. Rask has a good view of it. The key matchup brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Torrey Krug in that Eastern Conference semifinal against the Rangers. 4 goals and an assist in the 5-game series. And 8 points in his last 8 games coming into tonight, including a 4-game assist streak.
And you can certainly make the connection with the return of Zdeno Chara along with Adam McQuaid. And now everybody's kind of where they belong. And when Krug's playing the right amount of minutes and he's playing in the right situations and playing to his strengths, those are the numbers you're going to see from him.
And here's Craig Cunningham, who seems to have won at least a share of a slot. McDonough, trouble from Campbell on the forecheck, and there's Cunningham swiveling it forward to Gregory Campbell. He's got Paille cross ice. The pass deflects off a skate. Paille in on Talbot. He makes a leg stop. Girardi against Cunningham. Cunningham battling Miller in the corner. Cunningham A-frames, gets a little bit of space. Seidenberg along the line. McQuaid's shot tipped in front as Cunningham went right to the slot. Seidenberg past St. Louis, gets it inside. Cunningham knocks the puck down, slides it back to Campbell. He extends the stick, rides it around through the corner. The Bruins with some extended zone time for the first time in the second period. Campbell comes right through Girardi and takes the puck back for Boston. Wrists it to Paille, the redirection, and Talbot with a terrific save.
A pretty impressive shift by the 4th unit. It all started with a steal on the break, maybe a little lax by the Rangers, McDonough being one of them. A steal by Cunningham. Campbell all over the offensive zone, had rotated back to the left point on the pinch down by Seidenberg. Cunningham winning battles with a real good level of tenacity, and then Paille finds open space for a little one-touch. Good stop by Talbot.
Milan Lucic in the shooter's position behind David Krejci. Dominic Moore to take the defensive zone face-off for the Rangers. Lucic's shot goes off a leg, up and out of play. And Lucic is also one of those players who is in a more comfortable spot now because he is realizing once again that he is one of the strongest men in the National Hockey League in a variety of ways.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it was the criticism that was directed at him or just the fact that, you know, they got a right winger that seems to be a pretty good fit, and the fact that he's got a healthy David Krejci to help control the game. But yeah, his game has elevated as well. Just had a real good face-off win right there, but a kick save by Stahl.
Moore disagrees with linesman Michel Cormier, who throws him out of the dot. Stahl in the corner, Pastrnak on one side and Krejci on the other. Krug scoops it forward. Klein and Pastrnak. Now Stempniak up the boards. Krug gets in the way. Lucic in the slot. Can't get it through to Krejci. Moore steals, but then gives it away to Krug. Krug, the pirouette, and Hagelin pastes him into the boards and then upends him. Keep an eye on that one. Lucic holding in the corner. Turns on Klein. Tries to kick it through. Stempniak stumbles as he drags it forward. Krug keeps it in the attacking zone. Krug does nicely, knocking it around off of Moore, and the linesman Cormier says the puck in midair came across the blue line and back in. It's offside.
Well, at times you're going to find yourself on the off point, whether it's a face-off when you're trying to set up an offensive play, or it's just a rotation where there's been a pinch down and you come across hoping the winger's going to slide over to where you were if you're the left defenseman like Torrey Krug. And pretty good battle between he and Hagelin.
Hagelin had a pretty good scare in the Islanders game. First period along the boards, he stumbled down, and Johnny Boychuk of the Islanders, it's hurtful to say that, stepped on his leg and cut right through the stocking. Obviously unintentional, but so dangerous. Jesper Fast. Seidenberg chops it back to Campbell, but here's Hayes. The shot goes off Seidenberg. Caroms to the far side. Hayes, the saucer backhand, looking for Tanner Glass. Tough chance for Glass.
And Glass is trying to get something going. He knows his team's down 2-0. That's his role. He was trying to get a little something going right off the face-off with Cunningham, and then McQuaid had a little chat with him, as did Campbell.
Rangers are ranked 27th in fighting majors with just 8, but Glass has about half of them. Broussard at the hash marks. Nash pivots in the corner, double teamed by Chara and Bergeron. Not too many players are going to have success against that tandem, but here's Broussard closing in front for Zuccarello, and Nash swooping in, but Smith pokes it by. It's a 2-on-1 with Marchand. Smith's shot knocked aside by the diving Girardi. Hamilton's wrist shot comes off McDonough's skate blade. Marchand to Bergeron, doesn't get much on it, but it almost turns into something as Smith goes to the goal. Back to Chara, hard along the line to Hamilton. Hamilton, here's Rick Nash with a break from the red line in. The 26th goal scorer, and Rask robs him. Nash tried to poke it in underneath the stick, and I don't know if Rask got a piece of that or Nash just missed the open side, but Rask got a little bit inside the mind of Rick Nash. This is the 11th time that Nash has faced Tuukka Rask in his NHL career. He has just one goal against him. Eriksson to Kelly. Kevin Hayes bunts it ahead. Marty St. Louis drops it back. Hayes gains the line, closes to the corner. It's off McQuaid's skate, and the Bruins use it as transition. 3-on-1. Soderberg in the middle for Eriksson. He draws Hunwick, gets it across the crease, and nobody could tip it home for the Bruins. Miller rails it in low. Soderberg, forehand, backhand, can't get any leverage. Kreider hoists the puck out of the zone. Krug back to pick it up.
Well, the chance for Nash going all the way back to that opportunity for the Rangers, and that's your gifted goal scorer. That's the opportunity to look for to get this thing turned in your direction if you're the Rangers. It was Hamilton that was looking for a give and go in the offensive zone, and he made the steal.
Dominic Moore offside ahead of the play. David Krejci picks up his 6th of the season. Torrey Krug his 14th assist, and McQuaid gets his 3rd assist. 2-0 Boston. The Forest trivia question. Who's the NHL's all-time leader in shots on goal? Visit NESN.com/theForest for the answer. Enter to win a $50 gift certificate that can be used at the Forest Restaurant and Sports Bar in Boston, Quincy, or Norwell. I got an inkling, but I'm going to have to look that one up.
Well, you know, there's a number of guys that played 20-plus years.
Yeah.
And
you think about guys who led the league in shots on goal a lot.
yeah, I know. I play with one guy that shot it all the time.
All the time.
Well, I mean, made great plays, too. But,
yeah.
But, you know, in the old garden, in the small confines, the smaller ice surface, you know, usually a shot was a good play.
Yeah. And he would get it to goal and produce a lot of shots with purpose. Adam McQuaid and Tanner Glass. McQuaid slips down.
And he wanted back up.
Yeah. And the linesmen aren't going to let him have it.
And Glass wanted to lay on top of him so he wouldn't get up. Not sure we've seen the end of that, but that's something we talked about on Glass's last shift, Jack. He was looking to get something going. Trying to fire up his team, trying to energize the Rangers, down by 2 to a Bruins team looking to win 5 in a row. They got a little swagger back, playing some good hockey, and this is not a surprise at all. Wait for the puck to be dropped, and then square off. If you're a fan of the fisticuffs in this game, you'd like to see McQuaid keep his balance right here.
Five for fighting.
Now does Glass officially have half their fights?
Well, yeah, now they're on an odd number, so it's 4 out of 9. So close enough, yeah.
Boston penalty number 54, Adam McQuaid, driving the team fighting.
Pastrnak redirects to Krejci, bursts forward. Stempniak closing down on Krejci. Lucic right there to help out. Snaps the diagonal to Krug. Here comes to Lucic. Here's Krejci. What a save by Talbot. He flips it back out to Miller. Miller gets Hagelin off his skates. Fires it on Talbot. Pastrnak was jamming across the slot, and the puck all the way back to the Boston line now.
Oh, nice play by Lucic to go quickly across the ice to support David Krejci. And then find the open man.
Lucic with a tremendous move through 2 checkers to get the puck forward.
And not to be ignored on that play was the wall, the board play by Pastrnak on the breakout to allow Krejci to get through the neutral zone with speed in that 2-on-2.
Bergeron angles off Girardi, and the puck comes loose. Chara to Smith. Fires it past Bergeron all the way on to Cam Talbot. Zuccarello takes it down with his leg and then gives the puck away to Marchand. Marchand dekes and goes right around Zuccarello to Smith, but he fans on the shot. Zuccarello taps down to the corner. Brassard with a stick lift on Marchand. McDonough ahead to Nash, and he spoons it out. It tumbles to the Boston line. Really entertaining play from both of these teams, although the Rangers have had an unusual number of dead flat giveaways, just right onto Boston's tape. Chris Kreider motoring down the off wing, spins it to Marty St. Louis. Oh, glove stopped by Rask, and then it deflects off the trapper. Stahl fires it into the middle. Brassard along the end boards. Hamilton caves him in. St. Louis quick as a water bug to Kreider. Back to Klein. Has space. The shot saved. Rask can't control the rebound. Soderberg whacks it off the boards and out. Stahl steers strongly in front of the penalty bench. Soderberg shoves the puck back to Chara. Hamilton indirect for Kelly at the attacking line. It does not connect. The Bruins change out. Kevin Klein past the midpoint of the second period. Indirect looking for Hayes. Miller has it in his skates, can't find it. Hayes in front, and St. Louis gets off a snapshot, and Rask is square to the puck. Short break. Berkshire Bank rewind. Brick takes 3 looks at David Krejci's goal. The Bruins are up by 2.
He's got to commit to that. He's in by the top of the circle, and then he flattens the puck out on the pass, and David Krejci makes himself available outside of the poke check reach. Tap-in goal.
Vote for your favorite exciting, and that may be it. Your favorite exciting rewind and enter the mortgage sweepstakes. Each month, Berkshire will give away great prizes, and at the end of the season, one winner will have their mortgage paid for a year. Go to NESN.com/Berkshire Bank for details. Life is exciting. Let Berkshire Bank help. Off Miller's face-off win, the Rangers go to work in the attacking zone. Klein down past fast. Miller can't dig it out of his skates. And then JT Miller's over there for the Rangers. Fires it on Rask. He holds the short side and covers up.
David Krejci had an opportunity earlier a couple of shifts ago right at the top of the crease. Again, some great pressure. That was that play by Milan Lucic where he lends support. And Krejci's going to come from that same area and get off to the side of the net. Lucic finds him, but what a nice left pad save by Talbot. Had to react quickly, take away the lower half, and Krejci has no leverage there. It's not like he can throw it up under the bar.
Dougie Hamilton has a little bit of space, goes through the lane to Bergeron over the line. It hops up in the air off Girardi's stick. Bergeron back to Krug. Krug wristed in front. The redirection by Smith. And they rule that it was above shoulder height. And the faceoff will come outside the Rangers' blue line.
The TD Bank Community Clubhouse and the Boston Bruins would like to welcome the Sachem Buddies from Saugus Public Schools to tonight's game. At TD Bank, they're committed to supporting the communities we serve by making a difference together.
Brassard, Nash, and Zuccarello the top line in terms of scoring punch for the Rangers. Dan Boyle looking for the set play to Rick Nash, but the Bruins are wise to it, and they congested that area behind the red line and near the Boston blue line. Marchand caves in Boyle for the second and third time on the shift, but 3 times will get you 2 minutes. Cross-checking.
Yeah, Marchand trying to say, I'm just pushing him with 2 hands, but like the Campbell call back in the first period, they're going to call it a cross-check. Bruins shorthanded. Let you have the first one, wouldn't let you have the second one. Opportunity for the Rangers to cut the lead in half with a power play goal. Usually a number of plays will go through Marty St. Louis on that off wing on the half wall. So obviously the Bruins doing their pre-scouting, know exactly what they want to do in terms of penalty kill against the Rangers and minimize the high-quality scoring chances as best you can.
It's the 16th time this season that Marchand has taken a penalty that has put Boston on the penalty kill. That is far and away the leading number in that category. Chara is next with 12. Rask has to make a save. And Kevin Miller sends it the length of the rink. The power play brought to you by your New England Mazda dealers.
Yeah, and you don't love those penalties, 200 feet from your net in the offensive zone, but the name of the game, you got to have strong special teams, and the Bruins are trending in the right way.
Marty St. Louis couldn't control the puck, and Chara sent it all the way up ice. Kelly challenging Talbot, who gets it all the way past the red line. St. Louis drops it off to Dan Boyle. Boyle tries to swivel it through Erickson. Here's Nash out high. St. Louis fires away, and it cranks off the end glass. Wobbles back to the middle of the zone. St. Louis to Brassard to St. Louis. Couldn't tip it in on the stick side post. Nash bats the backhand out of the air. Zuccarello going to work down to the corner. Nash on the rotation. Now Zuccarello coming off the half boards. Takes it back to the hash marks. Boyle rotates out high, and Nash goes to the high slot. Zuccarello indirect for Boyle. Kelly faces him on the penalty kill. Zuccarello as the zone time mounts. Zuccarello's shot and an arm save by Tuukka Rask. It deflects up and out of play.
2 opportunities for Marty St. Louis. The first one when he was walking down the slot right from about the hash mark. It was just he really and Tuukka Rask trying to misdirect a shot over the blocker. The second one was on a short little feed from Brassard. tight to the net. That puck's in by the heel of the blade of the stick. Just couldn't get it where he wanted to. Rask tracked it well, but there was some upper half of the net available.
JT Miller bunts it over for Girardi. He swings it back, but Miller had gone to the middle of the line, and the puck rolls to the Rangers zone. 40 seconds to go on Marchand's cross-checking penalty. Rangers have the last 5 consecutive shots on goal in this game. Tuukka Rask near the goal line, swivels it back of the goal. Kreider's centering pass off Bergeron's stick, and that deflection enables the puck to get back to the New York end. Girardi under Kreider's forehand. Paille takes the little tap, sidesteps McDonough's shoulder. Paille's wrist shot in on Talbot, and he'll have to take a face-off in his own zone, which will pretty much kill off the rest of Marchand's penalty. Adam McQuaid and Tanner Glass are on their feet in the penalty benches, so I believe their 5-minute majors for fighting have expired. And they will be eligible to play once again. Krejci and Lucic to finish the penalty kill, with Krug in the shooter's position. And Kevin Miller at the middle of the blue line. Mark Stahl chips the puck ahead. Carl Hagelin, a speedy winger, flicks it cross corner. 2 shots on goal during the power play. Moore goes backhand, forehand, and Rask takes it away.
A little mismanagement of the puck here between the deep pair of Krug and Miller. They get really close to each other. Miller was trying to come in, lend some support. You could see Hagelin coming from the blind side. It wasn't so blind. Miller saw him, so he didn't want to continue to go behind the net. And then that puck squirts free, and Moore gets a short side chance.
Hayes and Krejci on the face-off. It deflects back to Kevin Klein. Klein around through the corner. Only Seidenberg there. St. Louis all over Seidenberg, and he has to one-hand flick it back to the corner. Kreider takes over there. Kreider through traffic. Pastrnak knocks it down. He's got Lucic on his left. Gives it to Lucic. Lucic barrels through Klein's check. Sets up against Stahl, right to the post to Pastrnak, and he couldn't tip it by Talbot, who was hugging the steal. Kreider chips the puck past McQuaid. Seidenberg comes over and hammers Kreider. He's going to get a boarding penalty.
He spun into the boards. Seidenberg's committed to this hit. Kreider spins towards the boards to make himself vulnerable. You cannot penalize Seidenberg for that hit. I mean, this is a nice play by Seidenberg to come across. The minute there's Kreider putting the brakes on and making himself, all he has to do is maintain his positioning at shoulder to shoulder. I mean, you can't pull up in that situation. It's impossible. It's a terrible call.
Rangers 0 for 3 with 6 shots on goal in the power play, and they get a 2-minute man advantage here. Boyle over to Marty St. Louis. The left shot on the right side. Brassard swivels off the boards. Boyle holds, gives to Zuccarello. The shot saved by Rask. The rebound to the corner. Nash shoves it over to Brassard. Brassard to the dot. The shot and a save by Rask. Zuccarello. The pass to St. Louis. Back to Zuccarello. Saucers it across to Brassard, who kills it and flattens the puck. Tosses to Boyle. Lines up the drive. Tipped, and it goes off the high glass. Brassard goes down and reaches for a leg. Zuccarello's drive into Miller. Brassard flexing his right leg as he gets up after a brutal hit on the boards. Zuccarello forward to the goal line. Brings it back to Brassard. Brassard's wrist shot saved by Rask. And Nash, a menacing presence in front.
Marchand is just going to go, one-on-one with Brassard when this puck's up for grabs in the corner of the rink. Wow. That look like a slew foot to you, Jack? I'm going to say no.
No, I didn't see
It was
the,
definitely in the neighborhood.
Yeah, but I didn't see contact with the back of the leg.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
saw
either.
more leverage up top. But Marchand, Marchand's walking a high wire act every time.
Well, that's it. Maybe a reputation cross-check penalty earlier.
Right. McDonough comes off the boards. Kelly out to face him. Girardi, the defenseman, all the way down at the half boards. Kelly deflects the pass, and that causes it to come back to center with less than a minute to go on the Rangers power play. Back-to-back power plays for the Rangers here, late second period, as they try to cut the Bruins lead in half. Chris Kreider tries a long-distance self-pass. McQuaid picks it off. Dougie Hamilton has space. The referee gets in the way, but Kelly finishes the clear. And Hamilton gets up barking at the man in stripes.
Yeah, not only did he make it hard for him to clear the puck, it makes him vulnerable to hit by Kreider late.
Chara and Stempniak on the near boards. Stempniak pivots past Chara. Miller with a nice little bunt to Campbell. Pyatt can't get it free, but Campbell does get it out over the line.
Heads up play by Campbell, not to leave too soon.
Hagelin slides over to Miller. Chara takes it out of the air on the give and go attempt as Carl Hagelin was bolting to net. Seidenberg on his feet and standing in the gate. The penalty is killed. 4 shots on goal for the Rangers on the power play. Carl Hagelin's wild drive goes off the end boards. Now here comes Seidenberg. Seidenberg chips it past Klein, goes in hard against Talbot, goes through the goalie, who did not control the puck on the end boards. Krejci brings it back to Krug. Krejci, the backhand down to the corner. Lucic holding off Stahl. Krug in the rotation, off the legs of Stahl, back through the neutral zone. Pastrnak hustling back so the Bruins wouldn't be outnumbered. McQuaid to Pastrnak through the seam to Lucic, leaves it for Krejci. Krejci tosses it down the boards. Talbot nudges it along. Kevin Miller through the corner. Pastrnak tried to swipe it with his backhand but couldn't come up with it on the toe of the blade of his stick. Dan Boyle right to Krug, but it bounces to Tanner Glass. He flips a long one in on Tuukka Rask. He'll take a faceoff with 3:03 to go in the second. Hold on to those snacks. There goes the popcorn.
On Bruins Face Off Live, we introduced today's mobile Bruins poll presented by the new Scion TC. Who will lead the NHL in goals this season? By A for Rick Nash, B for Tyler Seguin, or C for Steven Stamkos, or D for someone else? Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. Text help for info and visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions and privacy policy. Jack, Rick, who you got for the Rocket Richard Trophy?
That guy Otter must be really good because he goes by just one name, huh?
Yeah, do they call him Ovi?
Girardi puts the shoulder into Soderberg and tips him over.
Yeah, not too many times you get a goal-scoring poll that doesn't include Alex Ovechkin on it.
Yeah. Oh, McQuaid reaches up to the face. And Don Del Negro right out the door of the Boston bench. Adam McQuaid has had, well, if he didn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have any at all. There is no common thread to the many injuries, some of them severe, that he has suffered.
Well, Tays on the back check. He gets the stick initially, but then the second swipe, there's no stick there to get, and he catches Adam McQuaid right up over that left eye, or somewhere in that vicinity. Does not wear a shield.
One of very few Bruins, and really few players in the league, not to wear one. There's now that grandfathered in rule that rookies must wear them.
Well, you know, as far as the complexion of the game, well, you got 4 minutes of power play.
Smith's drive and a save by Talbot. Hamilton back to Smith. Bergeron tapping with Eriksson. Low for Soderberg. Turns and fires. Talbot can't control it and then pulls the puck back.
Now the Bruins use that Bergeron in the slot for a potential, maybe a quick shot. If it's not there, it's a possession play. Allows that umbrella to be in the position that they want it to be in. Hamilton, Smith, Eriksson is your umbrella. Bergeron in the slot, and they try to that 2-on-1 overload on the short side. Maybe that backdoor's play. It's a little tougher on the back door when it's Hamilton, a right-handed shot, as opposed to it being Smith, the left-handed shot. So Soderberg went for the shot himself.
Power play brought to you by Arbella, here for Bruins fans, here for good. McDonough and Bergeron in the corner. Eriksson gets it back along the boards to Smith, to Soderberg. Eriksson has the angle on McDonough, who wraps him up. Soderberg off the boards. Smith stumbles. Moore with an explosion of speed. Nash has 3 shorthanded goals this year. Wheels the backhand, and Rask never saw it. It just hit him because he was in position.
Pretty good individual effort by Nash to even get that shot through on the backhand, through traffic. Impressive. Tough luck for Riley Smith out at the point. The indirect pass. He started to move down low, lost an edge, and then led to this 2-on-2. Good recovery by Smith to make it a 2-on-2, but Nash, little spinorama, the backhander through traffic, and you're right, Jack. A positional stop by Rask. He saw where the puck was going to be released from, got down into that butterfly, was square.
Krug has Krejci cutting across the middle, gives it to him right over the spoke B. Now the puck's off Hagelin's skates. He takes it back from Stahl and throws it down the rink. 1.5 minutes to go in the second. Krug to Lucic. Lucic sizzles it to Krejci, controls with the skate. Pastrnak holds off Fast and chucks the puck all the way around. It rattles to Krejci at the left point. Down to Chara. Over his stick, Lucic to Chara, back to Lucic. Rims it around. Krug comes off the boards. Krejci holds. Back to Krug. Pastrnak in the high slot. Chara in front of the goal. Lucic waist high. Krejci takes it on a bounce off the boards. Chara right in front. Tries to go forehand, backhand, but it goes off the toe of his stick.
Did Stahl get a piece of that?
Might have. Krejci's one-timer blocked down. Pastrnak trying some hand magic, but could not come up with the puck.
That pass by Krejci was actually intended for Pastrnak. It was too far out in front of him. Got all the way to Chara.
Hamilton nudges to Smith. Now Bergeron. Moore was water skiing off him. No hooking call. Soderberg through Bergeron. Soderberg jams right to the post. Girardi off the end boards. Bergeron wins the puck. Smith turns away from Moore on the wall. Goes to Bergeron with the indirect pass over to Hamilton. The wrist shot saved by Talbot. And again, he gathers in his own rebound with 11 seconds to go.
David Krejci rotates out high to play that left point. He's looking for that possession play to Pastrnak. It doesn't get there, but because the Rangers had tremendous overload, that puck's able to get all the way to Chara. But Stahl with a last-ditch effort, able to get that stick in there and tap that puck away from Chara before he really had a chance on the backhand.
Already more than 30 seconds into the second half of the double minors. Bergeron wins the draw to Krejci to Bergeron. 5 seconds to go in the period. Soderberg right across the goal mouth. Krug quick to get off a shot. Bergeron scoops it off of an arm, and then it floats over the bar and lands on the roof of the net as the siren sounds. One in the first, one in the second, and the Bruins will take a 2-0 lead into the room after 40 minutes.
Really like their focus in the opening period, knowing that the Rangers win a lot of games in the first 20 minutes, get the lead, extend the lead. Well,
on Adam McQuaid's face before the proceedings are completed after the game tonight. I'm sure Dale will pass that along to you on the post-game show. Bruins are rolling 4 lines, Brick. They're getting shots on goal from all of them. 3 apiece for the Bergeron and Krejci lines, 4 for the Soderberg line, and 6 for the Campbell line. And the Bruins begin the third period on the power play.
Yeah, you could really throw a dagger right here, as to get 2 points here in regulation. Certainly with a power play goal. David Krejci talked about it in between periods. Fresh sheet of ice, a chance on the power play, and if we don't score, generate some momentum. So an important really start this next minute here in the third period.
It's the 151st time the Bruins have led into the third period since October of 2010, the beginning of the Stanley Cup winning season. And they have a .910 point percentage when carrying a lead into the third period. It's the 267th time in the Claude Julien era they have led by 2 at some point in the game. They have a .927 point percentage, went up by 2 at any point. This pass does not connect. Louis Eriksson with a stick lift. Now Soderberg shoves it back to Chara along the line to Krug. Krug goes around fast and sends it cross ice. This goes off the stick of Klein. Chara brings it back to the neutral zone, and Eriksson has to let it go because the Bruins still on the power play don't want the face-off in their own end of the ice. One shot on goal in the second half of the power play, and so it's back to 5-on-5. Chris Kreider against Dougie Hamilton. Kreider steps into Hamilton. You rarely see Hamilton go for a flyer, but Kreider got the leverage on it and lifted him right off his skates. Hamilton off the corner glass. Boyle takes a hit to keep the puck in the attacking zone, trickles it through. Kreider slides it back. Hunwick's shot doesn't get through the pile. Kelly, the backhand off the boards. Hunwick knocks it down. It rebounds to Smith. Smith with a little wiggle gains the line, has Marchand going to the goal. Kreider takes Smith to the boards. McQuaid has the puck come all the way back to him, wrists it toward goal. It bounces through to Marchand, but he can't control the airborne puck. Hunwick spins it out. Seidenberg knocks it down. Dennis Seidenberg through the corner. Boyle has time to get it to Hunwick. The short pass to Brassard coming all the way to the circle, but he does not connect with Zuccarello, and that's icing.
What are you doing after the game, Jack?
I think I'm going to Watertown.
Catching all new Instigators tonight following NESN Sports Today. Jack, Billy, and I will debate the best European players of all time, the lackluster trade market, and whether it's the end of the road for Marty Brodeur. The gloves come off tonight on the Instigators, presented by Electric Supply Center, driven to help you compete.
You know, I can't confirm this, but I think there are some people loading concrete into barrels on Arsenal Street in Watertown right now. They're trying to, they'll let you through.
What are they protesting? Your appearance?
Of course. Lucic turns and fires, and Cam Talbot makes the save. 2.5 minutes into the third period, and the Rangers certainly are presenting the feeling of a powder keg. One spark could change this game.
Yeah, there's no question that a team goes through that reacclimation after that long trip out west. They suffered that 3-0 loss to the Islanders, did not play well. They've shown some sluggishness here tonight, but they've also shown some sharpness with some real good quality scoring chances from real good players. Rask has been very sharp.
Hagelin to Moore, but Krug gets a stick in the way as Moore tries to connect with Jesper Fast. Campbell hard off the end boards. It bounces to Girardi. Girardi back to Hagelin on the end wall. Krug is all over him. Moore on the rotation. The puck up on edge. Flattens it. He takes the wrist shot, and it goes off, I believe, Campbell or maybe Paille out high. Now Fast. McDonough bunts it toward the front, and it goes off a leg and wide of the goal. Hagelin swivels it right through the goal mouth, and Cunningham catches it on his stick. He chips it past McDonough, tries to go around him. Talbot out to snap the puck over to Fast. Girardi, the diagonal for Brassard, making himself available. Jams Chara right under the chin. Soderberg muscles the puck down the wall. Hamilton's drive falls right to Eriksson. Now Hunwick with a jump in his stride. Eriksson angles him off at the red line. Chara the diagonal looking for Soderberg. Soderberg and Dan Boyle go to the end wall. Soderberg puts the check on him. Zuccarello blows an edge down low. Boyle tries to come back in the other direction, but Soderberg is raking it out of his skates. Boyle turns, finds the puck, and fires it out. Chara keeps it from getting out of the zone. Talbot turns the stick as Kelly was going for the doorstep.
What did he get it with, the shaft or the butt end?
I thought he got it with the open side of the paddle.
Oh, okay.
But I could be wrong. Off the butt end. Chara spoons it to the corner. Marchand comes off the half boards, off of Zuccarello and back through center. You got eyes like a hawk, man. Bergeron into the goal mouth, and Riley Smith into the goal. It's off its pegs. They'll let Talbot do his own house cleaning back there. And This play is whistled dead offside, I believe.
The all-new Pro Shop, powered by Reebok, is where you'll find the largest selection of officially licensed Bruins and Celtics apparel. Free parking's available with purchase during non-event times in the North Station garage located directly below TD Garden. For hours and more information, visit bostonbruins.com/Pro Shop. Well, a nice play by Chara to go across the ice to his partner, Dougie Hamilton, who ripped one from about 55 feet. It's a lot on it. It's a rising drive. I'm not sure if it ramped at all, and off the butt end of the stick of Talbot.
Campbell in a stalemate with JT Miller. Miller whacks the puck to the boards. Krug bangs into Stempniak. Tanner Glass, who tried to energize the Rangers with his fight against McQuaid. Stempniak turns and wheels it into Campbell's legs. Now brings it back to Stahl. Mark Stahl intentionally wide off the apron of the goal, but Campbell's right there. Krejci out to Lucic. Gregory Campbell's had one of his strongest games of the season tonight. Lucic, the power move around Klein. Krejci can't knock it home. Lucic back to McQuaid. Wraps it down through the corner. Milan Lucic is feeling it. Krejci through traffic. McQuaid's pass a little offline back to center.
And that's too bad, too, because Krug had a lot of room. Very similar to how much space he had on the goal that he set up for David Krejci.
Lucic gloves it down.
Hand pass.
Ruling a hand pass. It went off of McQuaid as well, huh?
Milan Lucic once again using that good straight ahead speed. You don't need a whole lot of fakes if you just keep those legs powering forward. David Krejci gets good inside position on Glass. All you got to do is get your stick in there. Sometimes you don't even need to get your body in there. Tries to sneak that one glove side on a nice play by Milan Lucic.
McDonough off the heel of St. Louis' blade. Girardi wrists it hard through the corner. Kreider in front of the Zamboni doors. Kevin Hayes shielding the puck. Spins it off the backhand. St. Louis right through the crease, but Rask takes the line away.
Well, Kreider's going to absorb the hit from McQuaid. Hayes lends support. Protects the puck beautifully. Backhand is in right out front, and even though it's not a tape to tape, it's tape to blade of the skate. There's no distinct kicking motion, and Rask has to make the stop.
Kelly jams with Hayes on the faceoff. Eriksson takes the puck to the red line. Skids it down to the corner. Soderberg working against McDonough. Kelly past both of them. Hayes out the far side. Girardi. Kelly bats it out of the air. Soderberg takes a hit from Girardi, and the puck back to center. Soderberg, the quick re-entry goes around Kreider. Oh, Kreider just tees off on Soderberg. And Kelly goes in and does the right thing. Chris Kelly barking at Kreider. Going up to the ribs. Kreider jabbing. Substantially larger man. Chris Kelly doing what any good teammate would do. You see a teammate get hit from behind, a player crosses the threshold, flip him off.
Soderberg with an opportunity to step inside, and Kreider trying to avoid any kind of holding penalty, but then that shove from behind to a vulnerable player, a dangerous distance from the boards, clearly a penalty. Here comes Chris Kelly. These are not uncharted waters for one of the leaders for the Boston Bruins in Chris Kelly. Got a nice little short left jab to the mouth of Kreider, bloodied him up pretty good. Good response by Kelly. Are we going to play at even strength here, Jack?
They haven't posted any penalty times.
Yeah, the faceoff's in the neutral zone, so I'm assuming no power play for Boston, and certainly not one for the Rangers.
Carl Soderberg is a rugged player, but you have to have concern for any player going into the boards with that kind of velocity and power. So they will continue to skate at even strength And we'll sort out the laundry as we get the scoring.
2-minute penalty for boarding, 5-minute major penalty for fighting.
So it's 2 for boarding and a 5-minute major for fighting for Kreider. And they give Kelly an instigator.
Yeah, I thought they might.
Well, what it is, the crowd here showing its displeasure with the call, but Kelly clearly instigated a fight. Here's a giveaway. Bergeron jams it. It's under Talbot, and it spills out.
Love that play by Marchand. If you're going to chase a guy behind the net and you have a stick that you can use, chop stick on stick. McDonough tries to short-side it and get to the front of the net. Here comes Marchand. Watch the stick work. Stick on stick. That forces the turnover. It's like a perfect pass to Patrice Bergeron as the second layer, and that quick one-timer. Talbot had to be ready. That's a big stop. Keeps his team just 2 down. That's still in striking distance with 13 plus to go.
Know why Cocker Spaniels have short tails?
Why is that?
Because they're trimmed because they were hunting dogs. They were supposed to go into the bushes and flush out the game just like that. Marchand reminds me of a Cocker Spaniel. They're pretty smart dogs too. Krejci wrists through both corners. Pastrnak using the great hands, but he can't get through the layer of Kevin Klein. Dominic Moore bounces the puck up to the attacking line. Lucic with the turn. Back to Pastrnak. It's onside. The wrist shot saved by Talbot. And the Bruins will take an attacking zone faceoff out of this sequence.
No, good stick by Torrey Krug at the defensive blue line. Axe really has a quick up by when you make a nice defensive play. Gets it right back to Lucic, who turns it up. That's good gap, good stick. Lucic's a quick up, and he's going to make that back diagonal, but both he and Krejci able to stay on side, and it allows Pastrnak to get a pretty decent snapshot away.
Campbell, Soderberg, and Eriksson. Seidenberg's wrist shot off a body, wiggles back to McQuaid. The wrist shot through the screen and past the post. Eriksson turns to the forehand, saved by Talbot. And he covers up with Campbell jamming.
Saturday night at 6:30, join Dale, Barry, and Billy when WB Mason presents Bruins Face Off Live. They'll get you ready for the game with the Blue Jackets. Take a look at what's gone wrong in Columbus and go around the league in the NHL Now segment. Get ready for the game right here Saturday at 6:30.
Strong game tonight for Gregory Campbell.
Yeah, and with Kelly now with the penalty minutes, they need a left winger on that line, and he's going to get first crack at it because of his performance tonight, certainly.
Rask hangs onto the puck. The faceoff will come back down to the Boston zone.
And it gives you options in the faceoff circle, depending on how Soderberg's been doing on the draw. If Campbell's going to be on that line, it gives you the flexibility to put him at the dot, which they did in the offensive zone that led to the win back to Seidenberg to start the pressure.
Bergeron wins the faceoff back to the corner. Hamilton to Chara around the boards. Bergeron into Marchand's body. St. Louis hard off Chara's skate, and the puck comes all the way back to Talbot. Ryan McDonough wrists it behind Kevin Hayes. That's going to be icing against the Rangers. Rangers have 4 games in hand on the Bruins. The two teams are tied in points. So the Rangers are in 7th place with the top wild card spot, and the Bruins the bottom wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. Riley Smith's wrist shot going wide, and Talbot gloves it to take another faceoff. The game going in fits and starts right now. The Krejci line back out. Milan Lucic and David Pastrnak the wings. McQuaid and Seidenberg the defensive pair. Brassard with Tanner Glass and Matt Zuccarello. Seidenberg off the end boards. Pastrnak gets body position, wins the puck. McQuaid's one-timer. McQuaid snaps his stick halfway down the shaft. McQuaid with new lumber goes back to collect it in the corner. Pastrnak against Hunwick. Broussard rides it around the boards. Now it's Glass against Lucic. Zuccarello in to help out. Lobs the backhand toward Rask, and he gloves it crossbar high.
Tonight, right after the post-game show, keep it here for NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. You'll have extended coverage of tonight's Bruins game, Tom Brady's response to Ray Lewis's criticism, and the latest on a major rule change possibly coming to Major League Baseball. Get all that and more tonight after the post-game show.
Bergeron wins the face-off away from Hayes. Hamilton around through the corner. Smith swivels the puck into the center circle. Hayes off Bergeron's stick. Klein recovers. Rask swivels it out to Dougie Hamilton, and now Bergeron will pursue against Kevin Klein. Clicking toward the halfway point of the third period. Bergeron shuts down Klein's space. Marchand hops on the puck. Bergeron fishes it out of a couple of pair of legs. Chara comes off the boards, flips it back to the wall. Nash clears the zone. Bergeron drills it off the wall. The Bruins will get a full change.
Like the Bruins' philosophy right now, Jack, which is the quick ups in their own zone. Spend as little time in your own end as possible.
Mark Stahl over to Dan Girardi. Goes against the grain. Hagelin. It's off Moore's stick. Soderberg forward. Campbell one-hands the puck deep. Erickson. This is Campbell in Kelly's spot. Something Brick was just talking about. Kevin Miller along the line to Krug. The wrist shot loose in front. Erickson scores! A goal scorer's goal! Louis Erickson with the heart rate staying at 110. Pulls it back and goes bar down. 3-0 Boston.
Talbot wanted a high sticking call on a possession play here on the shot by Torrey Krug. See if the replay will give us any indication at all, but nice work down low by Erickson and Campbell. Again, the points have been open, and the Bruins taking advantage of it. Jack, this is where Louis Erickson scores from. Take a look at his goals that he scored when he was in Dallas. In and around the net. Settles the puck down, no panic at all. He knew he had a little time and space before Stahl or Hagelin could close on him. They got the necessary leverage, and by waiting, he forces Talbot to make the first move. He goes down, open up top, and he finished.
Rask gets a piece of the centering pass. Hunwick drills it wide. Glass gets it in front, but it comes through to Pastrnak. Lucic with a cutback to get around Hunwick. Krejci off the boards with Lucic going middle. Lucic the redirection, and Talbot makes the save, catching it off his chest as Lucic gets the redirect. Louis Erickson gets into double digits, and the Bruins have a 3-0 lead. I got two pieces of news. One piece of news is that David Pastrnak's going to stay with the Bruins. They're going to burn the first year of his contract.
That's good news.
But the more important news is that it's Bertha Brickley's birthday. Happy birthday, Bertha.
Stopped by Sarah this afternoon after the morning skate.
These are the easy years after you moved out. Riley Smith takes the bump from Hunwick. Marchand throws the shoulder into Hunwick.
I think we both wanted the same thing.
She's happy now. Zuccarello over the red line. Wristed around through the corner. Marchand on the far side against Derek Broussard. The Bruins have had excellent layers in the last couple of games. Chara's pass. Hamilton finds it in his skates. Zuccarello sliding over, but Hamilton pulls up short. Nash swoops over the line, and Hamilton throws the shoulder into him. Zuccarello tries to spin against the Zamboni doors. Chara takes it away. Campbell over to Hamilton, and he's got space to bring it out. Sends the puck ahead to Paille. It pops off his stick and goes into the Rangers bench with 8:49 to go.
Saturday night at 6, check out Big Bad Bruins Live, presented by DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. Get a history lesson from This Week in Bruins History. Find out who will reign supreme as the DCU Hero of the Week. Stay on top of all things Bruins every week, all season long.
Soderberg and Krug, the assists on Eriksson's 10th goal of the season to make it 3-0 Bruins. Well, the Bruins in 16 previous situations leading by 2 at some point in the game. We're 14-2. The October loss against Minnesota up 3-1 into the third period, lost 4-3. 4th of December at San Jose up 2-0 after the first period. Then everything fell apart in a 7-4 loss. But since then, they have been perfect up 2. And all season long, they have been perfect up 3. 8-0 before tonight. Paille all the way to the corner. Gets through Girardi's check. Cunningham A-framing. McDonough giving him a rough ride there. Cunningham battling to keep the puck, to keep the clock running. Hayes to St. Louis. Back to Kevin Hayes. Hayes off the boards. Seidenberg on the pivot. Pulls up short of the end boards. Fast giving Seidenberg a hard time and getting the puck loose to St. Louis. Campbell takes it away from St. Louis and sprays it to the far side. Cunningham battles Hayes. Klein cross corner. St. Louis tries to draw it along in the backhand. It comes off McQuaid's stick off the apron of the goal. Fast feeds Hayes. Hayes works it out from behind the goal off Seidenberg's skates. St. Louis brings it back toward the point. Stahl up the boards. Hayes under St. Louis' stick. Cunningham can't pry it past Klein. It bounces. Fast gets a piece of the puck and Hayes controls. Good shift for the Rangers as they take the puck to Boston's end, but the Bruins limit their opportunities to get a shot on goal.
Yeah, St. Louis has had a lot of almost tonight, don't you think? You know, he had a couple of good looks. He had power play good looks. That one in tight, the one down the slot. He's made a couple of nice plays, but also the sharpness hasn't been there.
Yep. Off the heel of the stick once. Here's Eriksson pulling up at the hash marks. Back to Kevin Miller. Back to Eriksson. Soderberg in the high slot, and the man in front is Riley Smith. Soderberg trying to work through Stepniak's check. Soderberg stick handles into the middle. Smith follows. The Rangers clear. Miller gives over to Krug. Krug sprints forward as he catches the Rangers in a change. Now here's Soderberg on the near boards. Hamilton's bomb and a save by Talbot.
Tomorrow on NESN Live, Gary Striewski and Sarah Davis will have a full report from Red Sox rookie camp and an in-depth preview of tomorrow night's BCBU hockey game. Get the story behind the headlines on NESN Live, presented by Cross Insurance. Weekday nights at 5:30.
The Commonwealth Avenue rivalry live on NESN tomorrow. And then we're back with you Saturday night as the Columbus Blue Jackets and All-Star captain Nick Foligno come to town. Krejci tries to nudge it through to Pastrnak. Lucic gets underneath. Fast keeps the legs moving, and Fast gets the stick in there. It's going to be a tripping call, and the Bruins will go on the power play with 6:19 remaining in the game.
Good habits right here. You got to love what David Krejci does off this faceoff. Almost allows the Rangers to win it. Had a set play in mind, and he had Pastrnak right where he wanted him in that high slot. Well, it didn't work. Play comes into the neutral zone. We got to look at it. Pasternak's just going to drift to space. David Krejci had this all in mind. Let the Rangers win it. I'm going to step around my guy. I'm going to go retrieve the puck, win a battle, and I'm going to make a little backhand feed. Well, it didn't work, but Lucic has had his feet moving all night long, Jack. Trying to make a little transition play in the neutral zone, draws the tripping call fast in the box.
Pastrnak saucers the pass to Krejci to Krug. Pastrnak in the high slot.
41 seconds.
Krug holds the puck, and Hagelin gets it away from him. McDonough on the clear. David Krejci north and south to Chara. Chara loping past Girardi. Tries the wraparound, loses an edge. Zuccarello goes in the other direction and scales it all the way past the Boston blue line.
Love that play. Good heads-up look by Krejci and a good effort.
Oh, Krejci with a giveaway, and Krug rescues the puck off of Rick Nash's stick. Lucic with speed into the attacking zone. Chara, the hard saucer pass. Krejci backhand forehand to Krug. He backhands it down the slot. Pastrnak the touch pass to Lucic. Lucic to Krejci at the line. Back to Lucic close by. Pastrnak flips it off Nash's stick to Krejci, over to Krug. The wrist shot rebounds hard off Klein's skate. Krug rims it around. Lucic. Stahl caves him in. Zuccarello with a quick couple of steps and then curves backward, sends it into Stahl's skate. Stahl throws the puck deep, and the Rangers will change out their penalty killers with less than 5 minutes to go in the game. Krug, the long pass of the attacking line to Soderberg. Slides it down to the corner. Eriksson wrapping up Girardi. Smith backing up off of Bergeron's pass. Smith closes, fakes the shot. Bergeron to Soderberg, the shot. And Talbot comes off his line, and the puck deflects off the corner boards. Hayes turns the puck to Glass. Glass works against Hamilton. The long wrist shot. Rask makes the save. 13 seconds to go in the Boston power play, and the face-off in the Bruins' end.
Good patience by Riley Smith after good work down low by Bergeron to get possession of this puck, and then they make that little 2-on-1. 2-on-1 is the key to a number of good power play opportunities. You isolate the defending player. You make those short passes. You move the puck quickly. Smith to Bergeron to Soderberg, the one-timer. Probably didn't catch it flush because there was a lot of net to be had.
Brassard making Cunningham work for every inch. Fast's penalty expires. Hamilton's pass, indirect past Fast right out of the box. Eriksson delays and then flings the puck through the corner. Campbell battling now. Cunningham trying to extract his stick from Hunwick's grasp. Dan Boyle has the puck get away from him. McQuaid one way, Cunningham the other. Neither got the puck. Less than 4 minutes to go. Dan Boyle bounces it. It skids down McQuaid's side with Brassard on him. Seidenberg into Dan Boyle's body. Brassard turns. Seidenberg knocks it away. The puck still loose in the slot. Marchand hard off glass. Paille hoping the puck will come along, and it wasn't as fast as he wanted. Hunwick swivels around Marchand and then backhands the puck down the kick plate. The Rangers change out, 3.5 to go. Adam McQuaid. Tanner Glass intercepts. Bergeron takes it back for Boston, but it rolls off Riley Smith's stick. Here's Bergeron taking a loose puck. 1 against 5. It's just about right. Bergeron chops at it. It lands down near Smith in the corner. Stempniak across the defensive zone. Glass on the pivot. Chips it out. Marchand finishes his check on Glass. Krejci, the diagonal to Pastrnak. Pastrnak with speed tries to drag it inside, but he leaves the puck wide. Stahl to Stempniak. Pastrnak on the back check, swivels it through the slot, but it doesn't connect with Krejci. Pastrnak colliding with Stahl as he pursued the puck toward the corner. Fast trying to cut back, but Kevin Miller gets a stick on that. A disheartened Rangers team as the Bruins had a very solid start, knowing the Rangers were going to come out with a big effort, but Boston from the very first few shifts had a solid first period, and the Rangers never have gotten their game untracked tonight. Hagelin winds up for a big drive, and Tuukka Rask, who's been a big part of this story, makes the stop. 2 minutes, 7 seconds of hockey between the Bruins and a 5-game winning streak. You flood the rink, flood us with the video. Rick's Backyard Rink Contest presented by Arbella Insurance. It's underway.
You got that right, Jack. Looking for the best backyard rink in New England. Visit NESN.com/rinks. Upload a short video that shows off your rink. When I pick the best rink, I'll show up, play some hockey with you and your friends. So enter now at NESN.com/rinks. We've had a good cold snap. I'll be playing outdoors tomorrow night, as a matter of fact, Jack. We got 3 little mini, I guess you'd call them Bruins alumni games, taking on a couple of teams, 3 youth hockey teams, and we'll be outdoors starting around 5:30.
Where is that?
In Milton.
Outstanding.
Yep, it'll be a lot of fun. Bobby Sweeney, Timmy Sweeney, I think Reggie Lemlin might be there, Tommy Songen, myself, Beersy, Kenny Hodge Jr. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. 2:01 to go in this one.
And yeah, there are a couple of minutes to go, and the Rangers are an explosive team.
And I think Ricky Middleton is going to be there too. So we'll probably score some goals with him in the lineup.
Nifty. Kevin Hayes zings the pass. It's off St. Louis' backhand. Paille bats it off the boards and into the Rangers zone. We're in the 59th minute of this one, and the Bruins have had a good, solid 59-minute effort so far. McQuaid off the glove. St. Louis on the pirouette. Finds Hayes top of the circle. Brings it back to Hunwick. He slides the wrist shot into Seidenberg, who kicks it forward. Paille tries the self-pass and goes in deep with a minute and a half to go in the game. Campbell tips the puck loose. Kreider, who has returned, gives to Klein. Klein past the hash marks. The defenseman holds it on the backhand. It comes off the glass near the Zamboni doors. Miller tries to wheel into shooting position but loses an edge. Brings it back to Stahl along the line to Klein. Klein to the high slot. The wrist shot and a glove save by Tuukka Rask just inside the final minute of the game. The game report brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Start to finish, this has been a very solid Boston effort.
Yeah, penalty killing was strong. You're going to give up some shots and some chances to the Rangers because they have enough skill on the man advantage to put you on the defensive, obviously. But Bruins perfect on the PK. Bergeron got the Bruins rolling. They wanted to have a strong opening 20. They certainly did that. Louis Eriksson with a great goal, getting in double figures, just playing some real good hockey right now. Torrey Krug very active. Those are the guys that are on the stat sheet. But Tuukka Rask, certainly for our money, Jack, the Bruins' best player.
Stempniak off the glass. Miller absorbing the hit from Tanner Glass. 45 seconds to go. The Rangers looking at the possibility of back-to-back 3-0 shutout losses. Cam Talbot off the boards out to center. Chara rattles it into Tanner Glass's skates. Smith and Stempniak bumping off one another. Dan Boyle scoops a spinner down the boards. McDonough to the corner with 25 seconds to go. Floats it in front. The shot and a save by Rask, robbing Carl Hagelin. Save of the game brought to you by Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Chris Kreider, first period, 1-0 Boston.
Yeah, well, you certainly don't have to make 50 saves to be a difference maker in a game if you're a goaltender. It's about making stops, the difficult stops at the critical time in the hockey game. And Tuukka's been all of that tonight. Beautiful save on Kreider when he walked in off that left wing. Early in the hockey game when the Bruins needed a save at that point, he's delivered. His focus has been outstanding tonight.
Cunningham wins the face-off against Moore. McQuaid flips the puck up the boards. Soderberg can't stab it past Klein. 15 seconds remaining and the Bruins clear the zone. The crowd rising and cheering as the Bruins will equal their longest winning streak of the season. It'll be 5 in a row. 2 U's, 2 K's, 2 points. And the Bruins leapfrog the Rangers into 7th place in the Eastern Conference. They're no longer on the bubble, at least for the moment.
And this is where their focus should be. Not the teams directly behind them, but the teams that are reachable to get inside the top 6 or the top 3 in your own division. Look at Detroit. Look at the Rangers in the Metropolitan. Get out in front of Washington. Don't worry about the teams behind you. Keep taking care of business the way they've done over the last 5+.
Dale, a couple of weeks ago, Brick said the Bruins need to win 6, 7 in a row or maybe go like 8-1. Well, there's 5 for you.